Welcome back, guys, to yet another episode of the Talkatives Football Podcast. We got your moderator and member here, Marcus, and we got Shegs, resident Chelsea fan here.
I'm
And
gonna. I was about to say that. I need a title.
Since we have the resident Chelsea fan here, there's no better place to start than Chelsea themselves. Seen as as a Manchester City fan on this podcast, I can be very happy when I say this. My friend, Chex, how do you feel? We done, the first game, at the beginning, well, not the beginning, the back end of game week 19, it was a hard fight, 1-0, give you that. But the capitulation that happened over the weekend.
I think that's 4 losses in a row to Man City with no goals scored since the Champions League final.
Yes.
Honestly, if you'd asked me back then, I would have taken it exactly how it happened. But at the end of the day, we got slapped 4-0.
The game was over after 40 minutes.
Well, all I can say about Chelsea right now is watching that game, the first game, the 1-0, it was looking decent.
You had some bad luck. The game just started, and then you had two, I won't say talismans, but two of the more notable Chelsea players in your side went down in Raheem Sterling and Christian Pulisic on top of the mountain injuries you already have.
Mm-hmm. Got some more bad luck there, but it was still a respectable game, 1-0. I feel like that game is more like how Chelsea have been in like big games recently. We play well, we challenge, but we can't score a goal to save our life. At the end, we concede the 1-0.
Did you play well though? It was a lot of horizontal passing and backwards passing.
The first half, like we didn't get dominated. We weren't like just like useless. We kept it respectable.
You're talking about the first game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the first game. It was respectable. Like we still got outplayed, but we didn't get demolished. Second game, it's like 4-0. Okay, right off the bat, it's like, okay, we can't expect to beat Man City at this point that we are in the season, but at least show some kind of respect for yourselves as football players. I feel like Potter is pretty much unsackable at this point, because I don't see the management firing 2 coaches in one season. I don't think even Abramovich did that.
I mean, it would be a very Chelsea thing to do, let's be honest.
It would. Actually, I wouldn't be that mad. I love chaos.
No. Me personally, I would be pissed. Because, listen, and Potter has said it himself in post-match conferences. I believe the most recent one, they asked him what it was like, along the lines of what it's like managing this team. And he said managing this team is like trying to fix an airplane mid-flight. You've already taken off, and it's in the air. That's you're starting to see all these red flags pop up, issue here, issue there, and you're just there fixing it while you're already in the air. So I'm like, when he brings up an analogy, I
should just let the plane crash and we'll pick up the pieces with the next manager. But
that's okay. No, so let the plane crash. But he's trying to survive the plane crash. At the rate is going, is he going to survive?
Water landing, But the thing with Potter is, okay, he came in with a Tuchel team that was a mess, and I heard a lot of people saying, "Oh, the team was breaking down, blah blah blah." But that team wasn't. It wasn't that bad. You got some reinforcements. There were crucial signings. Most of them did not work out. Haven't worked out yet.
Because you got Aubameyang.
Yeah. Like we spent a lot, but it's like we have nothing to show for it, even with Sterling. So it's like, okay, he has a bunch of players. They're not bad, but they don't know how to play together. He can't he doesn't seem to know what type of football he wants to play, even though it started off really well. I don't know if at first it was just like continuing with Tuchel's system and it worked, but then injuries hit, and then we all of a sudden don't have an identity as a team. So Potter, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He still hasn't signed a single player for Chelsea, and he still needs time to really get this team playing well. Unfortunately, though, I feel like if we keep losing these games 4-0, if we lose to Fulham, if we keep losing to relegation teams and dropping points and we go further down in the table, I think he is going to get sacked. So at the very minimum, I just want him to like get this team playing simple football. Just have one thing you're good at. Please play players in their right positions, like whatever we have left. Like we moved on from Enzo Fernandez. Now they're saying João Felix. Why? I don't know how that can help. I honestly think he should just sit down with the team he has, make some signings that can actually contribute, and just make it respectable to the end of the season. Like there's all we got is Champions League. This team thing, it would take another miracle. Like we thought the last two Champions Leagues were lucky. Like it's gonna take like God and Allah decided that Chelsea must win for us to win that Champions League. So it's like,
hey, God's looking down. He's looking down on you like, please don't like involve me in that.
He's like, not even I can fix that.
Not even I can help you. You're Tim.
And it's like top four too is like, man, like who else is in hunt for top four? Okay, you got Arsenal and Man City at the top, and then the bottom two: Spurs, Man U, Liverpool, Brighton, Newcastle. I don't see any room for Chelsea up there. So maybe aim for at least qualifying for Europa League.
You skipped Fulham.
League. Who did I skip?
Fulham, because Fulham was above Brighton,
up there,
right behind them.
Fulham, Brighton, we'll finish above them if we can get it together and not just. The team is unrecognizable. It's like they all forgot how to play. And honestly, I blame Potter because I see so many like lineup decisions and instructions he's giving the team that just don't make sense. It's like when they're building up an attack, it's like just play the ball forward, but they want to recycle it and pass sideways and backwards. Like you keep playing guys with Jorginho that have no future at the club. Azpilicueta, you're playing Azpilicueta when you have guys like Lewis Hall that can ball out and can actually run. Like there was this chance against
Lewis Hall was part of the capitulation. I mean, he was getting,
but he's a young player who's hungry. Azpilicueta's days are numbered. You know, like there was this one chance with Azpilicueta that I think it was either Koulibaly or Zakaria. It was a crazy through ball. And then we have our new signing Fofana open. Azpilicueta chooses to pass sideways to his right instead of passing forward. Lewis Hall with that just had right.
I'm glad you brought up that point because that's the point I was gonna make. Because you mentioned all that password sideways passing and backward passing. And you mentioned that you blame Tuchel. You blame Potter. Now my thing is it really Potter's fault though? Because under Tuchel, we were seeing a lot of the same. A lot of sideways passing, a lot of backwards passing.
But under
how many? Hold on. My question to you is, how much of it is really Potter rather than the players just saying, oh, let me be safe. Let me play to not make mistakes instead of play to take risks. Because that's what I see. I see players who, the manager's saying some things, but it's going in one ear, out the other. And when shit hit the fan and things get stressful and you have a team like Man City consistently doing wave after wave after wave after wave of attack, their safety zone is to be like, all right, when we get the ball, let me hold the ball, pass passing, pass back to my center backs. That's what I see. I feel like that's something that Potter
That's
really
it. It's
can't.
I blame Potter 100% because if I'm the manager, I'm screaming at them to take risks. What do we have to lose when we're down? Why are you being safe when you're already down 4-0 in an attacking situation?
You
The
have to ask the
last
player.
time Chelsea got knocked out in what is it, the fourth round or the third round of the FA Cup was 25 years ago. We lost. We were down 5-0 to Manchester United 25 years ago. But you know what happened? They scored 3 goals to make it respectable. 5-3. They weren't passing sideways. They weren't playing it safe. Our manager was probably angry, shouting. Potter doesn't inspire anything. Even his post-match interviews, pre-match, he's like, we're in a tough period. We're gonna have to suffer. We're gonna have to take the loss. We shouldn't be losing, but we have to accept the loss. Like, no, you should be angry at your players. You should be pushing them to do more because all this, whatever he's doing, isn't working, and the players aren't playing for him. Like, there's no fight, there's no ambition, there's no plan. I don't get
They
it.
weren't playing for Tuchel. So my question to you is, okay, so when do the players start getting responsibility?
Mm-hmm.
When do culpability start falling on the players?
I think the players start taking. I mean, it's the manager at the end of the day because he picks them. It's like,
But I get when you say he picks him, but I'm looking at this Chelsea roster with all the injuries you have. Who else is he supposed to pick? Now, if you say, all right, go tried and true, don't put any young boys in due to the matchup you're going up against is a City side, regardless of whether it's A team, B team, C team from City, the depth that City has from their bench, you're always going to get a decent side put out at you. So as a squad with all the injuries you're facing, just put out your best 11. If that's the angle you're going, I understand. But just for you to be just
you gotta bench some of these old guys. You gotta let them sit when they're not playing well. You gotta let Jorginho sit on the bench. Play Zakaria, play Chuko and Mika. Those guys showed flashes that they're really
inexperienced.
Don't play Aubameyang again for the rest of the season. Play the new signing we just signed.
But you do realize, if you do it the way you're doing it, that more else is just gonna come.
No,
so you're fine.
If we're gonna take the L's anyways, we might as well have an identity as a team and see what we're doing.
So you're in 10th now. You end up finishing in 15th. You won't be upset.
What's the difference?
Okay.
There is no difference. Like, it's Graham Potter isn't making, there's nothing about him that's making me glad. Not the teams he picks, not the way he's trying to play. Nobody knows what he's doing. Like, it's simple things. Like, okay, you're going to play 4-2-3-1 now. Don't play Mount on the wing. Mount isn't a winger. He's an 8. He's a 10. Don't play Jorginho.
He's been playing in those positions 8.
Play Gallagher.
He's been playing 8 and 10 in those positions since Lampard has left.
Playing on the wing.
The Mason Mount magic left with him. The Mason Mount magic Lampard
box midfielder, which is what he is. He's not an out and out attacker. He's the one who's supposed to get the ball from defense and take it up the pitch, not Jorginho. Play Mount, Gallagher, and Kovacic in the midfield. Don't play Jorginho anymore. Play Zakaria off the bench, Chukwuemeka off the bench.
Yeah, I don't like
okay, Pulisic is out for a while. Sterling is out. Okay, now we have to play Ziyech. Who else do we have on the wing? Wow, we have everyone else. Man. But yep, that's the thing with Chelsea, man. At least it's either Potter just gets something simple that can get us through the rest of the season, or it keeps getting worse and he gets sacked because, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so let me hear your prediction. What they looking forward to the end of the season? What are we thinking? Are you gonna climb up the table? Maybe hope for a Europa League spot? Maybe
Um,
into a new what's that new European competition?
Conference League.
Conference League. Boom.
Yeah,
Conference League
well,
position.
I think what I'm looking forward to is at least finishing, like qualifying for some type of Europe. I don't think we'll qualify for the Champions League anymore. Like, even if we spent another 250 mil this January, well, maybe, depending on who we sign. But I don't really see that
And
happening.
if we
So,
leave it to what the
top seven,
rumors are saying,
top seven,
if we leave it to
be
what the
okay.
rumors are saying, y'all ain't gonna sign nobody other than Joe
Well,
Felix on loan.
other than Joao Felix, I don't know why we're signing Joao Felix. Well, because of the injuries, we need somebody to play. But it's a loan.
To be honest, I feel like the Joe Felix signing will actually be the first Potter signing on this team because the thing is, you guys don't have a striker overall. That's Chelsea, but you don't have a striker that fits the mold that Potter is looking for. And when I say the mold that he's looking for, I'm thinking of Trossard because that's what revolutionized Brighton this season. He took Trossard from the left wing position that he was playing and played him more centrally as a center forward, and boom, the guy's been scoring goals for fun. And when I look at the way he's using Trossard, I see elements of João Felix. At least that's what he showed at. I'm pretty sure it was at Benfica before Atletico signed him, but that's what he was, showing before Atletico spent the money they did on him as a teenager.
Calling Joao Felix a striker is being generous.
I said center forward. I didn't say out and out striker.
He's a
center
false.
forward.
Well, we got the new guy for Fana. I guess he's our new striker, and Joao Felix is who Potter wants, apparently, or maybe whatever team the technical director and director of football he just hired wants. So we'll see how it goes. I think
they didn't. I read somewhere Boehly hired a whole team.
Yeah, he hired like 5 people to fulfill the Marino role, Bruce Buck role, all those guys in charge of transfers and long-term strategy. So Joao Felix is their man. I don't know why. You already have Havertz, but I guess it's just to make up numbers, and he was available. So, yeah.
Well, good luck. As a resident City fan, all I can say from the City side of things, the pastures couldn't be any greener. We're enjoying life. The first match was really worrisome because it was tough to get through that Chelsea defense. It was really given for a rematch of that Champions League final that you guys beat us in with that Kai Havertz goal. We just could not break you guys down for the life of us. But, Mahrez came on, he did his thing, and he continued his form in the FA Cup. Started off with that wonderful free kick, and, the rest is history. As long as we continue playing like this, I have no worries about Arsenal. Anything else on this match before we wrap it up and move it
on? No. That's it.
Okay.
All
right, since
you're warned.
All right, so FA Cup, I gotta ask you. We just opened up with Chelsea, but outside of the obvious feelings you have from that tie, what other FA Cup tie has been surprising for you?
I'd say the most interesting was the Liverpool tie. I wouldn't say it was surprising.
Okay. Also, why?
Just from our last episode, seeing the same way they conceded those corners against who are they playing? Was it Brentford?
They didn't get any better.
Yeah. The same thing that happened again versus Wolves, where they can't defend set pieces and, allowing Wolves to get back into the game stronger and stronger as a game. And Wolves could have won that game, but they got a goal disallowed. I think it was offside. So, yeah, that was a very interesting.
And what did you think about Cody Gakpo? Officially his not his Premier League debut, but first debut as a Red. I think he played pretty well considering he didn't start there from the season. Honestly, I was looking at some of the ball that they were playing, and if I wasn't a fan of football and I just turned on the match and I was just watching, and you told me that dude, this is his first game playing for Liverpool, I would have told you ain't no way, because he fitted. He looked like he fit in seamlessly. And, some of the little 1-2, some of the little chemistry pieces outside of the game that he was doing, linking up with the plays. It looked like he was fitting just right at home to me.
I mean, I think they got a really good signing in Gakpo. He's been in form all season and in the World Cup, and they managed to get a good one for their future and going forward. He even managed to get Salah and Nunes going in that game too. So good for them. Should have been Chelsea, but good for them.
Before we move on from that, I do just have one question. What do you think Liverpool's... I won't even ask you for the full 11. I just want you to give me their starting attack. Because when they're all healthy, you have Nunes, you now have Gakpo. Remember, they bought Jota. You still have Salah. Yes. And then you have Firmino, who's been doing a man's job in that role since Nunes has been misfiring. So when they're all back and healthy and fully stocked up, what three are you starting? Maybe four if you want to throw somebody in there as a camp.
Well, Salah, obviously. Nunes. And the third part will probably go to one of Gakpo or Luis Diaz. I really like Luis Diaz. He reminds me of Suarez. But right now, Diaz, because Gakpo is just getting to the team. So Diaz, Nunes.
Nah, man, I'm sorry. I'm all about what have you done for me lately. Man.
I mean, Diaz has been injured.
Everybody's healthy. Nunes is getting, Nunes, he's getting used to that bench. Easy.
But Nunes has scored more goals than the rest of them at the end of the day.
I mean,
let's see this.
You're right, but like,
Salah is
you're right, but more.
Nunes.
How many Nunes have?
Nunes is 5-2. Let's see. Gakpo is not relevant right now.
No, you can count what he was doing.
Diaz is 3-2, but he's been injured. That's why I've had him in there. And Firmino, I think Firmino's days are numbered.
But you said Gakpo or Diaz?
Diaz. Diaz been injured. And then Firmino, 7-3, but he's more of their bench option now. He's not a starter. But he just knows that team so well that he's super effective off the bench. So I think that's where he's going to.
If you ask me, Nunes is hitting that bench. Everybody healthy. I'm putting Gakpo at the striker position. Luis Diaz, you can come in, continue doing that job you're doing on the left hand side. Salah, continue doing that job for me on the right, and that's it, bro.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. Nunes, like, he looks really good, and like he just had some crazy misses that have demolished his reputation. I don't think
that's why
that bad because he has been scoring consistently. It's not like he's just gone without scoring for like 10 games, like he's Timo Werner or whatever. Like he's still playing pretty well and getting to those positions, and it doesn't look like the misses are even stopping him from attempting to shoot at all. So
that's fine. You're right. That's what we like to see. If I had to describe him, he's Phil Foden of a couple years ago. We knew exactly what we had in our hands, but we also knew that the consistency that we needed from him at the positions that we were going to play him in, it needed to be there, and it wasn't. So until the consistency is there, my guy, you're going to be a squad player. I'm sorry. That's just how it has to go. I can't
but continue there's nobody to bench Nunes right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But that's why I said when everybody's back and healthy, you have the options. That man's going to the bench.
I
You
don't.
can't. You
I
can't.
think by the time those guys are back, Nunes would have already cemented that role. Like
See,
Firmino
that's
is
what
back
we.
mid January. Diaz doesn't have a return date. Jota early February, and the games keep coming. And Nunes is just gonna keep getting better and better up front. By the time they're back,
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
see them unless Klopp just decides he likes Jota better or Diaz or maybe
You
Gakpo.
said you said
Nunes gonna
Jota
keep
early
playing.
February. You said Jota early February. Jota comes back into training. I'm honestly, I'm not even gonna think about it. If Nunes is still continuing as he is now, when Jota comes back, Nunes you're hitting that bench, bro.
I mean, Jota is Jota better than Nunes? Like,
In
what
a
does it?
Liverpool jersey, yes. Up
Uh,
until if we're all things being equal, what they've done in a Liverpool jersey up until now, yeah, it'd be disrespectful for you to say he's not better, bro. Do you not remember when he first came on? Yo, he changed life.
well, the man has 0 goals this season, but he's
He also hasn't
only
been
played
playing
four
much this
matches.
season.
Yeah. No, but yeah, Nunes is their guy right now, and I just think he's gonna keep getting better. He's gonna be back. Those guys are gonna be back in training, and then they're gonna have to get fit. So early February is probably more like mid February before he's like match fit, and that gives Nunes plenty of time to cut the crazy. Actually, I don't even think he's gonna stop making these misses because shooters shoot. He's a striker and he's not afraid to shoot the ball, no matter how badly they miss him. But he's still consistent enough to get the starts. If Jota or Gakpo or Diaz want to bench him, they're gonna have to be super efficient and score. So yeah, we'll see.
We'll see, indeed. You will see. All right. Anything? Any last minute FA Cup talk before we move on?
Mm, shout out Brighton. They had like the best game. Wait, no. Wait.
I honestly wasn't watching, so I wouldn't know.
Okay. It was Middlesbrough though.
Uh,
Yeah.
oh, but I do want to shout out. I do want to shout out Wrexham,
Wrexham.
the team that Ryan Reynolds bought.
Yeah,
Yo,
isn't that an Irish team? Or Welsh
yeah,
team?
Wrexham, Welsh team. Yep, Wrexham. Yo, they're like I think 2 or 3 divisions below the opponent they faced in the FA Cup,
Wait, they're in
and
the
they
FA
put
Cup.
a yeah. They played this past weekend. They played in the FA Cup. They're like a couple divisions below. I want to say 3 divisions below their opponent, and they put a beat down on those boys. I think the final score was like 4-1 or something like that, maybe 4-2.
Wrexham? That's not an English club, though. I don't see them here in the FA Cup. Oh, wow, that is them. What?
Yes, bro. Yes,
I could have
it was
sworn they're
4-3.
an Irish team. What? What? All
It
right.
was 4-3.
I have to turn my notifications on for Wrexham now. I did not know they were, I thought they played in a different league. I guess FA Cup is like it's more than just like the teams in England. So it includes Welsh teams in the FA Cup. Huh, that's interesting. Did not know that. Fifth tier of English football.
5th tier, bro.
Okay.
It was a good game to watch. I'm not gonna lie. It was a good game to watch. It was a really, really good game to watch. Okay, transfer top. Honestly, I kind of want to talk about this big one because this one was. It looks like your rival is about to steal a transfer from you. Arsenal close to a 100 million deal with Shakhtar Donetsk for Mikhailo Murdic.
It's a
22-year-old.
We were the one who were attempting to steal him from Arsenal, but that man is going to Arsenal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's I think it was asked which club he wants to sign, and he says it's always been Arsenal. We're the ones that are trying to like steal him, but I don't know why these players would want to come to Chelsea right now. Anyway, so yeah,
So, what do you think about this move? 'Cause I honestly, I don't like if it was supposed to. If you were getting him as a squad player, I think 100 million is a bit much to pay for a squad player. And if you're not getting him for a squad player, I'm kind of confused by this move because you do have Saka and Martinelli playing really, really well,
mm.
and I'm thinking you're trying to enhance your roster, right? So enhancing the team, if it is one, do it in one of two ways. You're either buying a squad player for depth, somebody that's not really gonna challenge your starting 11 when they walk in the door, but that isn't to say that they can't challenge if they don't play well and train well. Anybody could knock somebody out of the starting 11, take their spot. You feel me? And then the second way is you buy somebody that's coming in to start straight ahead, which would make sense considering the injury to Gabriel Jesus. But seeing as this guy is a winger, and I don't know, I don't want to shock that. I don't know if this guy can play as a center forward. But seeing as he's a winger, I'm confused by what Arsenal is trying to do exactly with this move.
I am also confused because I thought they were spending about 50 million on him, not 100. So 100 for like someone to compete with Saka and Martinelli.
Yeah,
it's a bit much.
Those are the two players right now.
Arsenal seems to be comfortable splashing money nowadays. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe, well, he will make them better at the end of the day. So could be a really good sign. I just think that that's a lot for someone I didn't know existed a month ago. Yeah. I checked his position too. Like he's only played as a winger and an attacking midfielder. Maybe Arteta sees him as a striker or a false nine. Yeah.
I mean,
pretty good sign for Arsenal, but hey.
Maybe as a false nine. I could see it as a false nine. In fact, that's the only way that works. But then it brings back to my other worry, which is Gabriel Jesus. I have a very, very strong inkling that this man's going to come back to his job gone. He's going to come back from injury to his job gone because Jesus, because Nketiah is doing a pretty decent job.
Yep. Four starts, 4 goals.
And it makes things worse when you think about before the World Cup, Jesus was already going a little bit of a scoring drought, and then you let him go into the World Cup with hopes that Brazil is supposed to be a favorite. Maybe they live up to that, and he's part of that. So he rediscovers the form that he had shown at the beginning of the season. But then worst case scenario happens, and the man not only does Brazil not live up to the tag of being one of the favorites, he gets injured.
Sad days for Jesus. Yeah. I think Arteta he's going to get playing time, but if he's still out of form, still shaky, he might not get that starter role back, especially if the young boy Nketiah keeps balling out. So, yeah. There's a lot of competition up there. Maybe that's why they're signing Modric to push themselves a little further, because Modric is a pretty good player, it seems.
Okay.
Also, are
Man U looking to get Weghorst? What the heck is Man U doing these days?
I mean, aren't they in the top 4 right now?
They are in the top 4, and honestly, that's just testament to how bad everybody else is. Because we already know Tottenham. No. Yes, they're on a little bit of a winning streak, but I've said what I've said about that squad and that manager. Liverpool is Liverpool, and you have Chelsea in 10th. So.
Hey, we're talking about Man U. Man U have won 4 in a row in the Premier League. That's why they're in top four. But it's not like a crazy gap
Who
either.
did they play? Go look at their last four opponents. Who did they play?
No, Fulham, Forest, Wolves,
Okay.
and Burnley.
Okay. Okay.
But it's like
Thank you.
Newcastle are above them. Well, Newcastle have the same amount of points, but they've drawn the last two. Then you got Spurs, whose form is just all over the place. You got Liverpool. Liverpool is probably gonna get into fifth position really soon, and Fulham, Brighton, Brentford are gonna get surpassed by Chelsea eventually. So I think everybody is where they're supposed to be right now.
So what you're saying is, Man, you could actually go this January transfer window without making any signings, and you'd be willing to
Without
bet.
making any signings? No, they
Yeah,
need.
I mean that's what you're saying. Is that what you're saying?
No, they need to like keep it going. They need to because Liverpool and then Spurs might somehow manage to take top four from them. Like they need to cement that down and maybe even push for third place.
So and Weghorst is that guy to do it?
Weghorst, I don't know if I don't think so. I don't know. He's a striker, but he's 30.
Okay.
He's not that guy. But Rashford can't play every game either. And then you got guys like Sancho still there.
Yo. Can we actually? Is it fair to say? Can we actually give that a grade now? Because people have been telling me when I brought this up before, they said you have to give him time. He had to. It was tough for him to get out of Borussia. So
he's been there
all that stuff
over a year now, like almost 2 years.
Man
has just been in the kitchen. He's been in the kitchen trying to boil water, but he doesn't even know how to boil water. He's not cooking anything in there.
Boil water? The guy's burning water.
No, he's not. Yeah, I don't know what Sancho is up to nowadays. Even Martial is looking like a good player nowadays, and man, he's nowhere to be found. Where did I put that?
Honestly, it's never fun to joke like this. So I'm just let me preface what I'm about to say that this is a very serious situation that this man's dealing with. So if he's in fact found guilty, he needs to do his time according to the law. But the worst thing that could happen for Jadon Sancho is for Mason Greenwood to be found innocent, come back into that Man United squad, and take his place away.
Lord, nah.
Because the way he was flying before he got into all that off
baller, man. Like he was looking like Mbappe some games. Like if he can pull a prison break and get the transfer from Prison FC back to MUFC.
No, we don't accept criminals. We don't accept criminals. No prison break.
If he's found guilty, because he hasn't been sacked by the club. He's
no, because it's under investigation. Same thing that we do with Mendy. We need to let Mendy go.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. At the same time, Man City haven't terminated Mendy's contract too. So, but Mendy, that dude, he did that.
I won't say so for sure. I won't say so for sure, but from what I've read, the evidence is too damning. So I'll let way too
many charges, like from way too many people.
Fam,
he's done. Greenwood, it's one person, and I think he's been in jail for a little bit. Now he's out on bail, I think. Like it's looking like it's headed towards a not guilty resolution for him. But it's like his career has already been like knocked off course. Let me see how old he is.
I mean, I don't even think he's 23 yet.
He's 21. Turned 21 in October.
Mason Greenwood just turned 21?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There's a lot. He has more than enough time to make a comeback, but it's like his reputation is already ripped to shreds.
I mean, it might be just the American side of things, but wasn't Ben Roethlisberger also in the same situation? That man's a Hall of Famer.
Roethlisberger is a white man, bro. Mason
okay.
Is a black British youth, and the internet does not forget.
Okay. All right. Michael Vick went to prison for cockfighting. So
yeah.
And he came out, went back to the NFL and did his thing.
Yeah, so, he did. I mean, it's dog fighting though. I think there's a difference between dog fighting and doing what Mendy and Greenwood are accused of.
No, wait! You can't. As bad as Greenwood is accused. We gotta leave Mendy on his own.
Yeah,
Mendy did. Yeah, man. We can't.
Hear criminal.
I know Greenwood's reputation is. I know Greenwood's reputation is shot, but come on, man. He's not Mendy. Let's.
So he's also light skinned, so he could get away with it. You know, if we're gonna go there. You know, Mendy is a dark skinned black man. I don't think he's gonna be forgiven and by anybody for what he did, because I think he actually is guilty. Greenwood, I have no clue, but hey, if he's innocent, he will come back into the team. But it's always going to.
All I'm saying is, worst thing that could happen is for him to come back into the team and continue what he was doing before all the trouble, because Sancho,
if he comes back, he's gonna ball out. Him and Rashford up front is gonna go crazy.
Sancho might get relegated to a.
That's what Man U need.
Sancho might get relegated to a bottom half team.
Excuse me?
I said, he comes back and does all that stuff. Sancho might get relegated to a bottom half team. Man U might ship him off to an Aston Villa or Leicester City.
Go the Lingard route. End up at Aston Villa. Or was it West Ham?
No, what Man U did to Lingard was foul. They should have just let that man go to West Ham.
Yeah, when they shouldn't have taken him back just to get rid of him and let him go. It's kind of
the same thing that they did with the goalkeeper.
Oh yeah, didn't they recall him back to the loan?
Because he had a career year. He had a career year on another Premier League team. Was it Southampton?
I think it might have been Crystal Palace. I don't know.
But yeah, he had a career year. They called him back, said, we want you to challenge De Gea. We think you might actually start some matches. The man didn't start shit.
Yeah.
Barely made cup tie starts. Terrible.
Sad.
All right, but let's wrap the transfer talk on Chelsea, because in addition to João Felix on loan, it is in the rumor mill that you're also looking at Marcus Thuram and Noni Madueke. I hope I pronounced that right.
We don't need any guy named Marcus anywhere near Chelsea, please.
Wait, hold on, wait. But Marcus Thuram, out of the three options, I don't know Noni Mudryk. Butchering this man's name. No. Is that how you say his name?
I don't know. Mudryk?
No, it's Madueke.
Who?
He plays for PSV Eindhoven. He's 20 years old. He's a right winger. Well, he's only played 4 times this season.
Oh, is it Noni Madueke?
Yeah.
Players like this is what Chelsea should focus on, like these young and promising players. It's just
Marcus is only 25.
They always add up,
But Marcus Thuram, I hear you, but Marcus Thuram is only 25. Is that not young?
He does. just based off his name alone, I already don't like him. Like,
You don't like him because I'm Marcus and I'm a Man City fan, and I've given you shit on Chelsea this entire time.
Look. I mean, if this team, this new transfer team thinks he's it, I mean, sure. But we already signed this kid for Fana, and
Okay, so hold on, question. No, but here's the question: you have the three that are in the room right now. You got João Felix, Marcus Thuram, and Noni Madueke. Me personally, out of the three, I'd go for Marcus Thuram because although I believe the most in João Felix, I don't think his environment and manager being Diego Simeone has left him with the confidence I need him to perform the way he can. And last time I saw Marcus Thuram in the Champions League with, Mönchengladbach, they were scoring for fun. So,
I don't know. I'm trying to make a decision right now, just looking at their profiles. Like, we already have the Fofana though. I don't know why. And he was really good in Molde. I think that's the Netherlands. Madueke, I can't really tell who is the better player there. Okay. Whoever they sign will be judged based on how many goals he can score. Honestly, I feel like Felix is a bigger name, and like you said, he didn't exactly play attacking football at Atletico. But it's like we have too many players of the same false nine profile in Havertz, and then we have Nkunku coming up. It's like these guys are more creators and link up play for nine out and out strikers.
Is Nkunku coming in January?
No, summer.
Damn, that's unfortunate because you could use him now. Lord have mercy. I wonder when players sign deals like that and they say they're coming at the end of the season, when they look at the stretch of bad results that your team is currently having right now, but they know they've already signed a deal and they're coming at the end of the season. Now, imagine worst case scenario happens and you guys lose majority of your games to finish off the season. How do you think you'd feel being a player in that position knowing you signed in January and you just saw the club that you just signed go on a losing streak of massive proportion?
I mean, if I'm Nkunku looking, I'm like, wow, these dudes really need me, and I'll be motivated to show up in the summer. But it's
that's nonsense.
I like those deals because like the club moved quickly before anybody else could get him. And hopefully, in the summer, he'll have even more room to play. Hopefully, Aubameyang won't be there anymore. And, we'll have a whole new attacking front line if we get rid of a few guys like Ziyech and maybe even Pulisic. Because if we're not going to play him, there's no point in having him.
Should have go in the summer.
Yeah.
You spent $250 million and you kept Pulisic. That was honestly the biggest mistake from the summer.
We didn't even sign any attacking players, though.
I mean, you signed Sterling.
Yeah, Sterling. And Obama.
Sterling's a big one.
Yeah, Sterling's pretty big. But yeah, even Sterling, it's like, I don't know. It doesn't matter it does matter. I need to stop saying that. It does matter. But it's like, the coaching isn't enabling these new signings to be their best selves. Even though the ones that we have, like Mason Mount and Havertz, he's not playing them in their best position. Play Mount directly behind Havertz, not on the wing. Play Sterling and then, Pulisic on the other side. But no. Now he started Pulisic 2 games. Now Pulisic is injured again. Thanks a lot, John Stones. It's a series of unfortunate events.
John Stones spends all this time in the hospital. It's about time somebody else spends time.
Yeah.
But all right, since we're here, let's wrap up this episode with thoughts on the upcoming Premier League round. We have the last match of game week 19 with your boys, Chelsea against Fulham. Do you have any hope for your boys? Any at all?
I think it's another must-win game for Potter. I don't care how bad this team has been playing. You still got players in there who got to 2 cup finals last year, finished in the top 4. The year before, beat Man City in the Champions League and beat a lot of people on the way. It's still the same players that beat AC Milan, I think like 5-0 over 2 legs. Potter needs to get it together and play them and win games because there's no excuse. If the players aren't motivated, if they aren't learning, if it's going in one ear out the other, it's Potter's fault for not being able to get through with them. Because I see no reason, even with we have a whole 11 out, and that 11 is a little. It's looking better. Our injured 11 is looking better than some of the 11s we're playing. But I still think with what we have, we could still play decent enough to beat teams like Fulham and Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest. We should still be good enough to just have some type of identity. We should still be good enough to not lose 4-0 to Man City. So another game, another chance for Potter to get it right, and another chance to add to his resume. Like if he keeps losing, he's gonna get sacked. We will hire another coach and put him in there. We'll hire an interim coach for the rest of the season and just restart in the summer. Like rip it all up, tear it up. It's not working. It's unacceptable. Like dropping below 10th. Like last time we dropped below 10th, we got rid of our most successful manager of all time in Mourinho. Like Graham Potter isn't that special where we're gonna be like, oh, let's trust him. Trust the process. I see nothing to trust, especially if the results, like all that matters right now is results. Like, and we're not playing well. We're not getting results either. So another chance for Potter to either prove himself or sign his unemployment papers.
I think you're being too harsh. I really do think you're being too harsh. I think on those fields, regardless of what happens, Potter has to see out this season, and you have to bring him back next season. If you fire Potter, there was no reason to fire Tuchel. You should have just given Tuchel the year.
We should have never fired Tuchel. But I understand why. Their reasoning. Looking back now, like, once it's fired, once the day happened where he's gone. After the shock hit, like, clears, it's like, okay, I can see why. But now it's like, why? It doesn't make... Even Thiago Silva's wife is on Twitter talking about it's not too late to admit your mistake and bring back Tuchel. I'm just like, that's not going to happen, man, but...
No, Tuchel's not coming back. Y'all losing dirty. Okay, score prediction.
Fulham?
I'm thinking 1-1. Yeah, I'm thinking 1-1.
I'm thinking 1-0 to Fulham.
Wow.
Yeah, the faster we get rid of Potter, the better. Okay, let me not be negative. I'm just mad. I'm angry right now. I'm upset.
Don't worry, let me help you.
Who we start, I can say, let's just defend well at the very least. Let's not concede a goal. So all I'm asking, don't concede and score 1. So 1-0 is all I'm going to ask for my team.
Okay.
1-0.
All right.
Simple. Defend
Take
well.
Over some.
That's it.
Quick hits for game week 20. Match week 20, rather. Starting off with the Manchester Derby. Man U winning their last 4 matches. Manchester City coming off their last 2 wins in a row in the Premier League. Manchester Derby on Saturday the 14th. Who we got? I'm obviously the resident City fan, so I'm going to go for the City win. 3-2. Haaland hat-trick. If not a hat-trick, 2 goals, 1 assist.
Interesting. What day is that game on?
Saturday. It's early, too.
The head-to-head. Man, you have lost or on a crazy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game losing streak to Man City. There's a 6-3 there last time around. No, but they've actually haven't been this good in a while either. So maybe they'll put up a fight in an eventual loss to Man City. But I don't see them beating them. Haaland's going to go crazy.
Okay, so City win, I like that.
Manchester City derby. I mean, Manchester derby. Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be his first.
Yeah. Probably going to score 1 or 2. Yeah, rest will be history.
Okay.
Unless Rashford and them boys decide to really help Arsenal out and get a draw or even an upset. Yeah, never know.
Okay, all right. And then I think we'll end it with quick hits on the North London derby happening on that very Sunday. Arsenal versus Tottenham. Honestly,
I think Arsenal wins that
Arsenal. Yeah, I do too. I think it's going to be pretty bad. I think Arsenal will beat them 3-0.
Yeah, like Spurs don't really show up in London derbies. Like they don't really show up for anything, like big games at all. Every once in a while, they might get a draw there or like a lucky win or beat. Chelsea might hand them 3 points, but against like these other serious teams, yeah, Tottenham aren't doing anything. One of the other London derby that day, Chelsea Crystal Palace. I'll go with Chelsea because Crystal Palace are supposed to be the lower level, but we'll see. I also think Brighton will beat Liverpool.
Honestly, I'm not even gonna speak. I'm gonna just let that sit. Because if Brighton beats Liverpool, let's just say that the next episode is going to be very fun to discuss. Very, very fun to discuss.
Yeah. Newcastle playing Fulham. It'll be fun. Oh, Newcastle are a way better team than Chelsea right now. There really isn't nothing to compare. See what the scoreline is what we're going to compare. See who does what against Fulham. Although we are away.
Yeah. And last minute thing before we call it wraps.
Not much. Looking even further, there's a Man City Arsenal tie coming up. Maybe is it in the FA Cup? Yeah, the next round of FA Cup. I think. Yeah.
I'm not going to say I'll say it.
Have you guys played this year? No, you haven't. You still have to get the league. So this is your first league. So the top 2 teams in the league, go at it in the FA Cup. I think that's the game I'm looking forward to the most, like out of any game, apart from maybe Chelsea. In the Champions League. Champions League probably isn't back to like late February. So,
yeah. To be honest, as long as if we're gonna lose to Arsenal, let us lose in anything that is not the Premier League or Champions League. That's it. That's all I can wish for at this point. Because Arsenal, I didn't think they had it in them, but they've shown me this season that they're here to stay.
They're playing really good football, and so I would love to see them win the league over Man City, even Newcastle.
Beat us in the FA Cup. Don't beat us.
Can't let Man City three-peat.
First team to do it in forever. Come on now.
No, we can't.
Come on now.
It would be so unfortunate. Like the rest of the league should be really ashamed of themselves if they just let Man City keep dog walking.
I mean, you can't say that. One of the victories was Liverpool only lost once that entire season, and we beat them by 1 point. Sometimes when it's your time, it's your time.
Sad. You hate to see it.
Hey, you hate to see it. Correct. You hate to see it.
The only people that like to see are Man City fans, and there's only like 10 of y'all in the whole world. So who cares?
That sounds like you're hurt. I wish I cared more.
I'm just saying, like the rest of the league needs to get their shit together.
Next, not because you have to look so far up to see everybody else.
I'm not even looking up. I'm looking down.
Okay, I need to see. How much farther you have left to go since it's freeform, right?
I'm like, how worse can it get? Okay, the water isn't that deep. I don't know this, but I'll be all right.
And on that note, thank you guys for listening to this episode. Hope to see you on the next one. Enjoy your week.